Okay, you guessed it, it's time. Time for another goddamn rant. Unfortunately, a bunch of these rants have to do with men and their dumbass behavior. And of course, not all men are like this, because I gotta say that because people get their fucking feelings hurt. But there's a certain behaviors from men that I'm not I'm not accepting it anymore, and I'm gonna call them out when it happens. Not all over my big social media like TikTok and stuff, because I don't have the time for the amount of stupid that's out there, but even in my own Facebook page. I posted a beautiful picture of all my girlfriends at my birthday party in our swimsuits, kind of Charlie's Angels and shit, looking good as fuck, because we do. And then I was like, what was the caption? The caption was like, real hot girl shit. And this dude comments below, only one. And he's basically explained that he meant only the one that's single is hot. 3 of us are taken. The only one that's single is hot. And I decided to drag his ass because I'm so fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired of men coming onto women's pictures and saying these offhand fucking comments about our fucking bodies, about and fucking ranking us. I'm tired of them goddamn like quantifying our worth based on whether or not we are dating somebody, whether or not we belong to somebody. I'm sick of the fucking TikTok creators out there that do the same goddamn thing, that fucking judge women by how beautiful they are, and they can rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Get the fuck out of here. I dragged this motherfucker in my comments on Facebook. Dragged him. At first I asked him to explain. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, what? I was like, no, what do you mean? What was that comment about? Because it wasn't clear to me at first. And then a couple of my guy friends jumped in to be like, oh, he meant to say that because 3 of you are taken, as in dating someone or married, that you're not hot, basically. And it's always funny when you ask these men to explain why they say the shit that they say, they always get all flabbergasted and they can't come up with the words to explain it because they're not used to being talked back to. Men are not used to being fucking talked back to when they say dumb shit like this. And now I think we're finally getting to the point where we're getting more and more comfortable with talking back to these motherfuckers, especially in situations where our lives aren't at stake, because a lot of us are afraid to talk back to men, because if we do it in person or in certain like environments, there have been situations in which you snap back to a guy that's disrespecting you and they shoot these girls. They kill girls over this. So you have to be careful. But if it's on my own Facebook page, you better believe I'm going fucking in. If it's on my own Instagram page, and even if I know you, I'm going in. And I went in on this motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, that is some sexist ass shit. Do you realize that? He's like, oh, well, I didn't mean to be. I'm like, no. You knew exactly what the fuck you were saying. You just didn't expect me to talk back to you. And then my girlfriends came and they added to the conversation and told him how disrespectful he was being and how nasty he was being. And all of a sudden he was quiet for hours and hours, basically for the rest of the day. And I was like, oh, you don't have anything else to say? You don't have anything to say, motherfucker? You don't have anything to say all of a sudden? Wow. It's like you spoke without talking and you let your misogyny just talk for you. Good fucking job. And then my sister was one of them, one of the ladies that he was talking about, and was like, oh, and basically like clap back to him some more, and he was like, take it easy, man. Like, I didn't mean to offend anybody. Peace and love, whatever. You need to chill the fuck out, like language like that. And I responded, and I was like, no. See, motherfuckers like you have been saying stuff like this for a long ass time, thinking it's funny, thinking it's okay, because he's like, I was just trying to be funny. I'm like, that wasn't fucking funny, that was degrading. He's like, I didn't mean it to be degrading. I'm sorry that you took it that way. I'm like, no. We didn't take it that way. You were degrading. Take responsibility for the fact that you were fucking degrading. Because men like to do this, they like to say shit they like to comment on our shit, they like to say things like that, and then when we clap back, they're like, calm down, take it easy, you can't take a joke, you can't take a joke, peace and love. They like to gaslight you into thinking that, like, no, you were offended by something that wasn't offensive. Like, no, motherfucker, you were offensive. You said something offensive, and now you can't back it up now that I'm clapping back at you. Now you have nothing to fucking say. So you can take your peace and love, and you can shove it up your fucking ass, and the next time you want to say something to somebody, specifically a woman, think about if you would say it to a man, and if it's most likely that you wouldn't say it to a man, then you need to shut your fucking mouth. It's pretty simple. Pretty damn simple. Now, like I said, I'm not going to do this to every single person that does this on my social media. Like, TikTok, I have almost 500,000 followers. If I were to answer to every fucking single stupid comment that I get on my stuff, it would have to be a full-time job, and I would have to get paid hourly for me to do that, because it's too much, it's too draining, and they don't deserve my attention. But sometimes it happens in my personal life, sometimes it happens in my smaller circles, and then sometimes I do have time, like I did today. I'm like, those are my friends you're talking about. One of them is my sister. Those are my friends you're talking about. Those are real fucking people that you're talking about and degrading. And you think it's funny. And you are not gonna gaslight me and my bitches into thinking that we're crazy because we were offended by something that you said that was offensive. Let this be a lesson to any of you that have had that mindset up to this point. It's very, very likely that you have said some things to women up to this point that you think are funny, that you think are amusing, and then they take it the wrong way, and then they dare to be offended because what you said to them is probably definitely degrading to them as a person, and then you want to belittle them for feeling that way when those are completely valid emotions. Completely valid emotions. If you want to make those jokes, then by all means make them on your own time, like with your own little circle of dude friends or whatever. Like, come on now. Like, I talk shit too. I'm not perfect. I am definitely not perfect, and I definitely talk shit about people myself, but I am not stupid enough to go and put it out on social media on someone's feed, direct it towards them, and then not be prepared for the clap back. If I'm gonna put something out on social media, I'm gonna be prepared for the clap back, okay? But see, you've been running around doing whatever the hell you want all of these years, that you don't expect it. Well, guess what? Expect it, motherfucker, because I'm gonna come for you every time you do it. Every time you do it to me, especially if you know me. Especially if you know me. Especially if you know me and we're not that close, which is this dude. We're just mutual friends. I don't even know how I'm friends with this motherfucker, and we're not about to be friends on Facebook no more. But shit, don't be stupid enough to do that shit to me, man. Don't do it. Of course, I would not call out my personal friends like this. If I had a problem with an actual friend of mine, I would address it with them in private. And I'd be like, come on, man, that's not cool to say. Do you realize how fucked up that was? But since I don't really know this dude very well, and because he's just a mutual friend, barely an acquaintance, and I don't even think I've met him maybe once, I don't really care. So now I'm going to use him as a public example. I've done it before. And I will continue to do it. I am not the one. Do not do it. Don't do it in front of me. I will call you out. Don't do it in front of me. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. And just don't do it to just don't do it in period. Just don't do it period to anybody. It's not funny anymore. It's not funny. It was never funny. It was never funny. We were just afraid to say anything about it. We didn't feel empowered to say anything about it. We weren't empowered to feel offended, or we weren't empowered to speak up when someone is saying something degrading about us as women. But times are fucking changing, motherfucker. So stop that dumb shit.